What you have before you is a House Minority Leader pictured standing at the far right, speaks while colleagues play solitaire Monday night as the House convened to vote on a new budget. Now I want you to look at these people. I'm going to zoom this in so you can see what they're doing. They're playing solitaire. Other guy's checking the ball game. These are people who are supposed to be working on your behalf. Now, they're up there supposed to be doing the budget, and what are they doing? They're not doing their job. Why? Here's the reason. These folks don't know a damn thing about finance. They're waiting for commands from their party on how to vote. You think they're sending rocket scientists to the Congress? Get real. You've seen how stupid they are. So let's get something straight here when we get, because Guns and Gadgets was saying about the Judiciary Committee is going to meet, kind of a call to arms Wednesday, on firearms. Here's what you people out there really need to know, and this is the last damn time I hope I have to go through this. Because you are just like Congress. You're not reading the Constitution. It's not a very big booklet. It's the Constitution. It's real thin. It's not like Nancy Pelosi's 2,000 or 3,000 page bill on Obamacare. Oh, you don't have to read it. You can read it after you pass it. Well, let me tell you something, people. In 1776, the people met in Philadelphia. Okay? The American founders gathered in Philadelphia in 1776 to draft the Declaration of Independence, which dissolved the political ties between the American people and the British people. 11 years later, in 1787, the American patriots had won their independence on the battlefields. Many of them had met earlier in Philadelphia, plus others, and they met there again to draft the Constitution of the United States. In 1789, after the plan had been ratified, the new government was established. And it took another 2 years to get the 10 amendments added to the Constitution because they wanted a limited government. That's why your Constitution is not very big. It's a limited government. Get that through your head. Limited government. Congress only has limited powers. Okay, here we go. If you read the Declaration of Independence, you find out our rights come from God and are unalienable. The Second Amendment to the Federal Constitution recognizes that God-given right to keep and bear arms is to be free from any interference whatsoever from the federal government. Our framers were all for an armed American people. They understood that arms are our ultimate defense in the event of the federal government overstepping its bounds. Accordingly, the federal government nowhere in the Constitution is granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns or ammunition. This all restrictive laws made by Congress and all regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional because they are outside the scope of powers granted to the Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restriction of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to Congress or to the executive branch. Tried to tell you before. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution ratifies and preserves for every citizen the right to keep and bear arms, and not Congress or any other instrument of the federal government can infringe upon that right. They are constitutionally barred. Get that through your head. These laws, they can pass all the laws they want. You don't have to comply. Something else, people. Okay. You got to understand that the Constitution is in writing. It's important to understand that it is a legal document that was ratified by all members in Congress together, and the document has the signatures on that document. And it's important to you to understand that there was an offer for the government to govern. There's consideration by the citizens considering how they were going to be governed, and the government promised that they would be governed by the Constitution. Now you got a very unique situation here. It's very rare when you find the first party of the first part, which is the congressman, officers of the government, who are also parties to the second part as representatives of we, the people of the Republic. When they signed that document, they signed as officers of the government agreeing to the Constitution, and simultaneously as officers and representatives of the people in the Republic form of government. When they signed that document, that constituted an ironclad contract in writing, enforceable in a court of law, pursuant to the statute of fraud. If you believe something if you read that Constitution and you think it's a certain way, they have to honor that, and they should honor you in favor of you because you are the clearly intended and expressed designated beneficiary. The judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary are notwithstanding in law. Anything that goes against the Constitution, null and void. Period. They're not allowed to pass ex post facto laws. That means laws that are retroactive. But they did so on your domestic violence bill. They automatically lumped you in with all these other people and went all the way back to Adam and Eve. You see what they've been getting away with all this time, right underneath your noses. And you thought, well, you know, it's a law. They passed this law. It may have the color of law. It is not law, people. It's never been. We have been hoodwinked. Read the Constitution. Know what your rights are. The government is not allowed to infringe on any of your rights. It can't get any plainer than that. Thanks for watching.